So in today's video, we're going to be pairing a very powerful light with a really inexpensive camera.
This way, like someone slapped me in my face, but I cannot look away.
So the first thing that I do want to get out of the way is that this video is sponsored by Zhiyun, and they did provide me with 2 of the G200 lights, as well as a softbox and this globe diffuser. So as always, even though this is a sponsored video, I never accept sponsorships from products or brands that I don't actually like. So real quick, let's go over some of the coolest features about this Zhiyun G200 light. First off is its size and how compact it is. It's a very small light and it's very lightweight. And it comes with a really nice padded traveling case, and the actual control box isn't that big either. So next up is actually the light output. Now these are the G200s, which means 200 watts of light that you can get out of these small little Zhiyun lights. But a pretty cool bonus feature is that you can actually press both buttons on the control box, and that's going to enable the max mode, which is going to give you, I think, almost 300 watts of light output. You are going to hear the fans a lot more when you use the max mode, but you are going to get a much brighter source, which is really cool. The next feature that I really like is that there is a Bluetooth app, so you can connect it right to your phone and control your light with your phone. You control the intensity, you can control the color temperature, because these are bicolor lights, and it's really easy and convenient, and I think that the app UI is actually pretty good. And last but not least, this has a Bowens mount. So there's no proprietary mount. You can put any lighting modifier that you want onto these Zhiyun G200s. And they do have an umbrella mount as well. So really any lighting modifier that you have is going to work perfectly with these G200s. There's also a music mode, which I don't know if I would ever use, but it's going to listen to sounds and then the light will react to the sound, which is kind of cool. So for the skateboarding shots, I used both the lights to create pools of lights for the tricks to be done in. I wanted to shoot at a faster shutter speed, so I cranked it up to about 1/160th of a second to shoot at 60 frames per second. Shooting skateboarding is super fun, and the idea for this video was to make it look highly stylized and really make the skater pop out from the world around him. Big thanks to my buddy Berkeley Anderson, who was the talent in this video, and talented he is. I used a combination of the parabolic softbox that Zhiyun also sent to me, the 90D parabolic softbox, as well as just the simple can reflectors to create different styles of light to shoot the skateboarding in. When it was a little lighter outside, I would use the max mode so I could get it to look dark and consistent throughout the day. And as the ambient light started to go away, I was able to turn them down and not use as much output. Okay, so I know that that use case might be a little bit niche. I know that everyone isn't going to be shooting skateboarding on a regular basis. So what I wanted to do was to set up some scenes that you might see in like a short documentary or maybe some interviews. So because on this channel, I am really big on focusing on your lighting more than the camera itself, all of this footage that you've been seeing has been shot with a very old and inexpensive Panasonic GH3. So for this first shot, I just had my wife journaling in our dining room, and I wanted to kind of give a very natural through the window light type of look. And so this is what it looks like with just the natural light coming through. As you can see, it's way too dark. And one of the nice things about the Zhiyun G200s is that since they are so small, you can put them on smaller light stands, which I think is something that not a lot of people might think about. Having bigger lights is going to require C-stands and really heavy duty light stands. These little G200s can fit on pretty inexpensive and smaller light stands. So I took one of the G200s just with the simple can reflector on it, and I shot it right through the window. I actually used the max setting, so by pressing both of the buttons, it turns it to the max setting, which gives you a lot more output. And this is the sequence that I came up with. So I took one of these G200s and I put the parabolic softbox on there. It was the Zhuin 90D parabolic softbox, which I really like. I used both layers of diffusion and even the grid to kind of focus the light right on where I wanted it to be. And then I used another G200 just with the can reflector on, and I turned it to a 3200 Kelvin temperature as my hair light. And this is the shot that I came up with. So because these G200s do have that max mode that you can turn it to, which is going to give you a lot more output, I wanted to see if I could expose for the window behind my subject and actually expose my subject with one of these lights as a key. So I turned it to the max mode, I got a variable ND filter, put it in front of my lens, and I exposed for the window behind my wife. And then I turned the light on, and as you can see, you can actually expose for really bright sources like the window and still get a really nicely lit image for those interviews where you're gonna have to be competing with natural light a lot. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you in this video. I really like these G200s by Zhuin. I really like what Zhuin's doing with their new lights that are coming out. And these are super small, not insanely expensive, and they're really powerful. So I think they're a great option for any filmmaker who needs a small light with a lot of output. Anyways, once again, big thanks to Zhuin for sponsoring this video. And as always, if you want to check out some more of my videos, you can click on either side of my face. And I'm trying to think if I had anything else to tell you. Oh yeah, one more